To create champagnes that are really special, you need good soil, top quality grapes, and a great deal of skill. But even more important than these, the winemaker must have a strong vision and a fierce commitment to do everything to the very highest standards. By their very nature, champagne makers like this are rare and difficult to find, but when you do find one, your efforts will be well and truly rewarded.
We are here in the underground cellar of our house, and this cellar has actually been digged by hand by my father and his two brothers. Just to remind you that there was nothing here before. They actually started from scratch. That's actually my grandmother who was the vine grower back in the late 50s, and she was really into it, really precise in what she was doing. My dad and his two brothers decided to come back here and take over my grandmother back in the 70s, and they developed the vineyards and built a whole winery and cellar by hand. With my uncle, who used to be an enologist, winemaker, we could produce wines that were really the one that we like and our style of wine.
To understand more about that, let's join Francois in a plot of vines called Les Pertes, planted with Pinot Noir in 1983.
We want to show you here the way we actually cultivate the soil. And if we have a look on the floor, on the soil actually, we can easily see that this soil has been really aerated, and it's not compacted. It's like fully alive, and we can easily dip in the soil and really have this nice and aerated clay on the topsoil. And what we want to do is cultivate the topsoil, like the 10 first centimeters, to force the roots of the vines to grow deeper and deeper. And by growing deeper, we will extract the minerality of the limestone of Champagne. And this minerality, if we do it well, it's going to be easy to pick it in the finished wine, in the finished champagne. Something fresh, easy to drink, and I would say pure. What drives us every day is we want our wines to reflect where they're coming from, the origin of Champagne. We want our champagne to really reflect this balance in the nature, which means the roots going deeper in the chalk and extracting this minerality, this freshness, this elegance that we have in Champagne is for us key to produce Champagne with a strong character.
After growing up close to the vineyards, it was natural that Francois wanted to become a champagne maker, but his career really got started when he went to study enology in Dijon.
Suite à cette expérience en Bourgogne, j'ai eu la chance de rencontrer un Australien qui m'a dit qu'est-ce que tu fais au mois de février l'année prochaine. À cette époque-là, pas grand-chose. Et ben, si tu veux, je t'embauche. J'ai dit bon allons-y.
After Australia, Francois had the opportunity to visit New Zealand several times to help with the harvest there. He finally came back to Champagne in 2005.
Et c'est vraiment à partir de ce moment-là qu'on a développé cette culture du sol, ces enherbements, ces labours, pour remettre en avant le terroir qui est magnifique en Champagne.
After the work in the vineyards comes the winemaking itself, which demands just as much skill, care and attention.
Our philosophy of making wine with character drives me to keep each vineyard, each variety and each village separated during the winemaking process. That really helps me to understand where it's coming from, understand the terroir, understand the variety, and that's very important for me to really capture or visualize I would say, the personality of each vine, of each vineyard.
At Huré Frères, there's a particular philosophy that underpins all that they do.
If we look back in the 70s, my uncle, Mark, who is retired now, used to be a winemaker and he used to do a winemaking course to do that. And for a small company like us, having his own winemaker back in the 70s was something very rare, and that was quite a luxury. But that's actually a very important step for us, because when we started, basically, we could make wine, serious wine, from day one, which means that all the work we were doing in the vineyards, we could actually translate it and put it in the wine and in the bottle and actually show it through our blends. And that's actually something we could call being independent, because this independence, this is actually our identity, and all the choice that we make in the vineyards, in the blends, in the winemaking, that's just our personal choice, something which is unique, and this is actually the reflect of our philosophy, our way of being, and that's something which is for us one of the main points for Huré Frères.